Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. How are you all? How are you this fine Saturday, I believe it is. Hope you're all having a lovely day. I thought today I would do a January currently reading. We're almost halfway through January already, which is insane, and I always like to plop my currently reading sort of in the middle of the month, so I thought this would be a good day to film it up. I've also got a lovely cup of tea in my Books My Bag mug. I think that might be the first time on my channel where I've drunk a cup of tea and it hasn't been too hot for my mouth. Celebrate. Celebrate?
Salute.
Salute, says David. I currently have 4 books on the go at the moment. I will start with the book that I don't have here with me, and that is a book that I am very much loving. I am listening to the audiobook of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I am loving this. So this has given me like all the tingles and more that My Name is Leon by Kit DeWitt gave me. I listened to that on audiobook as well. So I love this book and I'm definitely going to be doing a full video review on it. I probably might do a Books and Braids on it, so where I talk about a book individually and also do my hair and stuff. But at the moment I will tell you just general plot, the plot that's going on and how it's making me feel and things. So I came to this book not knowing anything about it. I knew that it had been shortlisted for the best first novel section of the Costa Prize, and had known. No, and whilst I had started listening to the audiobook, it then won that section. So it was the best short novel, best first novel prize winner for the Costa Awards. So that was happening while I was listening to it. So I came to it thinking it was going to be a sort of almost like a Bridget Jones-ish type book is how I imagined it would be. Now, if you want to go to it with an idea of what you think it's going to be and be completely shocked and then don't listen anymore. Go and read it not knowing much about it and come back when I'm doing this, because that's when I've stopped talking about it, because I feel like going to it not knowing anything has made my enjoyment all the more. So, but now I will start telling you what it is about. So it follows Eleanor, who is a woman in her early 30s who has been very much just getting by in life. She's got a very fraught relationship with her mother that is sort of, you find out about it a little by little as you're going through the book. I'm only halfway through at the moment, so I can't give any big spoilers, but when it opens with this sort of scene of her going to get a bikini wax, and I feel like that maybe sort of cemented the fact that I thought this was going to be quite a light-hearted Bridget Jones for nowadays book, and I thought, oh, I'm really going to enjoy this. After the bikini wax section, which was quite light and joyful, it moves on quite quickly, and you realise that Eleanor is living a really lonely life, and there's parts of this book that are just so sad, so perfectly written and so sad, that she is getting through her weekends by like smashing through a couple of bottles of vodka just so she doesn't have to sort of address the fact that she's alone. And she's got a real simplified, beautiful look at life where she sort of says it how it is, in a way that can sometimes be misconstrued and be seen as weird, but also is beautiful and lovely. And she is such a pure person. She's really wonderful, and I'm absolutely loving it. I am getting so many amazing feels about this book that I just love it so much. I really can't see it not being one of my favourite books this year. I know it's like the 11th of January today that I'm filming this, but I can't see it being one of my favourite books maybe ever. Like, I really have all the feels for this book, all the feels. So that is the first book that I am reading. I will insert a picture of the front cover here, but also if you are interested, I'm listening to the audiobook, and the woman who does the audiobook, I don't know her name, but everybody, so it's set in Glasgow, and pretty much everyone in the book has got a Scottish or a Glaswegian accent, but Eleanor doesn't. And the woman who does the audiobook is just fantastic at accents, and just really is an amazing performance. So loved it. Come back now, guys, come back if you've been listening. I finished talking about Eleanor Oliphant, but basically the message is, whether or not you want to know what's going on, just go and read it or listen to the audiobook. I love it. So I've got 3 more books to get through. The next one I will talk about is I'm reading Jen Campbell's wonderful short story collection, The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night. This is the day proof. I also have the hardback cover. Here it is. It's beautiful. This is the hardback, naked hardback, absolutely gorgeous. I am reading this in the bath. One thing that I realised last year after watching a video actually of Jen's about short stories is that I like to read a short story in completeness in a sort of situation away from where I do my normal reading. So what I've decided to do throughout the year is to read short stories when I'm in the bath, because I like to be in the bath. I don't like to be in the bath for long periods of time, but I like to have a bit of time in the bath. So I think that reading a short story in the bath is a lovely place to enjoy something in its completeness in a sort of really focused, relaxed situation, and these short stories are absolutely wonderful. So I've read, so the first one I'd heard Jen read, which is called Animals. I'd heard Jen read that out, so I knew how good that was because I'd heard her read some of it out. The second one, I went to the Lush book club at the end of last year in December, where Jen's book was the book that they were discussing, and Jen was talking about the second short story in the collection, which is called Jacob, which is about a young lad who writes a letter to the weather lady because he's got some worries and concerns about his family life, in particular his sister. So when I heard her talking about that, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna really like that one. So after I read that one, I was like, oh, that's my favourite. Now I've just read Plum Pie, Zombie Green, Yellow Bee, Purple Monster. That's now my favourite. So every time I'm reading another one, they are just fantastical and wonderful and like little individual chunks of joy that I can just digest in a bath, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I feel like already a mere 3 stories in, there are going to be, this is going to be hard to beat in terms of short story collections this year. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the sort of setup I've got, but I would definitely recommend it. Enjoy a bath, read a short story every time you have a bath. You get through, I mean, I'd have a bath every night if I could. I am allowed, I'm a grown woman, I can have a bath every night if I like.
No, you can't.
Oh, that took me by surprise. I am. And yeah, it's just a lovely thing to do. But yeah, really enjoying this as well. So, I mean, I've got to tell you, I've been having a bloody wonderful reading year so far. The 2 books that I've finished, spoiler alert, have been 5 stars. What are you talking about, David? You're making quite a lot of noise. You're it's like you're talking parcel tongue. 2 books that I've read so far that I've finished in completeness are both 5-star books. I also feel like Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night is going to be 5-star. Eleanor Oliphant's going to be 5-star. And then the next 2 books that I'm currently reading are also on the path of being 5 stars. How could this happen that I'm going to read 6 5-star books back to back? How is that happening? The next book I want to talk about is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arndon. I only started this yesterday and I'm already 168 pages through, as well as reading a short story in the bath yesterday. This is gorgeous. So this is a story, it's a book set in a village in the north of like wild Russia, yeah, and it's really cold and atmospheric and wonderful, and you follow a family and what's going on with their family life, and there's sort of magic in there, and there's deception and just so much going on, and so it's really atmospheric. It's really perfect win to read, and I'm loving it. I love all the names, I love the place names, I love I don't want to get too much into what's actually happening, because I feel like it unravels wonderfully, and part of that I don't really want to spoil for anyone, but absolutely loving this. This is what we're reading for my online book club. I run an online book club on Facebook with some friends, and so far everyone seems to be really enjoying this. So this is the sort of book that when you settle down to it, you're like, oh, you don't want to ever stop reading. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to read any of this today. David and I went out for lunch, that's why I'm dressed posh, and when he went to the toilet I got this book out and started reading it, and I was like, no, a double page is not enough. So after I've been for a run tonight, because I'm going for a run tonight, I'm going to settle down and read a bit more of The Bear and the Nightingale. So yeah, another potential 5-star read. And then the last book I'm reading is one that I'm sort of dipping in and out of. I feel like this might be a bath book too. I've already read this in the bath, but it's really fun to sort of dip in and out of, and that is one that I've mentioned already. It is 100 Nasty Women of History by Hannah Jewell. This is 100 women throughout history told in a hilarious and really accessible and fun, and it feels like you're just having a chat with your mate about amazing like women in history. It is wonderful. I'm up to number 10, and forgive me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce this name. So I think it's Aethelflad So she was the Lady of the Mercians, and she lived between 870 and 918 AD. And she was the eldest child of King Alfred the Great, who is remembered in history for being just great. One of the great things about dear Alfred was that he taught his daughter all the kinds of things you have to know how to rule a medieval kingdom. Military strategy, economic stuff, legal stuff, how to collect taxes and chill with monks, and most importantly, how to kill a Viking with a massive pointy sword. And the tone of this book and everything about it is just like that the whole way through, and it's just fun and educational and wonderful. This is sort of goodnight tales for rebel girls. Goodnight stories for rebel girls, like the adult edition. It says fucking it. I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving it. So yeah, pretty good reading month so far. So as I said, already read 2 5-star books this year. Potentially these 4 books are also going to be 5 stars. That means 6 5-star books in a month. Have I ever had a better reading month? No, I don't think I have. I need a refreshment after that, being so excited. Hope you are all having a wonderful reading month as well. How are you all getting on? Have you read any 5-star books yet this year? Have you read any of the books that I've talked about? How have you felt about things? Good audiobooks. Where should I go to next? Although I do have Artemis by Andy Weir already ready to listen to, but I haven't started listening to it yet. Has anyone got that, or has anyone started listening to it? And yeah, hope you're all having a wonderful new year. I've got to go and get my sports gear on now because I'm about to go out for a run with all my pals. So it's going very well, and I'll see you all soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!